ButterVision.
Yeah, so I think we should throw the challenge, and then we can vote Marlene Vandenplas into the elimination.
Who? Vote who would do it?
Our executive producer, Marlene Vandenplas.
What? She quit like 3 weeks ago.
Oh.
Bama and the Butterverse, back at ya!
We back, y'all. We back, snitches.
Y'all.
Bam in the Butterverse. Krsiti and JD Butter back.
Yes. Another episode.
Yeah, here at the compound. And before we get into the show, and this was there's a lot going on in this episode, I would say. Yeah.
I know. At first, I thought it wasn't going to be a lot, and then I go back looking at my notes, like, wait a minute, when did I get 5 pages of notes off of this episode?
There's a lot of action. But before we get into this, I want to talk about some real world stuff.
Some real world shit.
First of all, you texted me earlier this week for the second time. This is crazy to me. I don't know if any of our fans out there watch the show Ridiculousness on MTV.
I don't even really watch it.
Rob Dyrdek. I'm a huge fan, Rob Dyrdek. But one of his co-hosts on there, Stilo Brim, you have now delivered to with your DoorDash action twice.
My good old
What is
DoorDash
this all
action.
about?
Ring. Here's your food. I know, it's crazy. It's because, it's where I live. I mean, we're not going to give up too much information. Obviously, I'm not going to tell you where he lives. Not even going to tell you really the area. But I just happened to DoorDash, whatever you want to call it, in an area where I happen up on some celebs every once in a while, and he is one that I have now delivered food to twice.
Right.
He's
now,
got
did
some
you?
Cute little French bulldogs.
Oh,
right. Running out.
Right.
Want to give me some
he talks
love.
about them on the show.
Oh, he does?
Yeah.
They always want to come out and give me love. They're cute.
Now, did you know before? Did you know who Stilo Brim was before we were telling you about Stilo Brim, or
No, when he opened the door and I was giving him the food, I knew right away. I was like, oh gosh, he's somebody. He's on something. I couldn't remember exactly though, but it gives their name, he gave his real name though, Sterling B.
Right.
I actually thought before I got there, I was really hopeful it was going to be Sterling Brown. Because I love Sterling K. Brown, but it wasn't. But I still was like, oh, it is somebody. So I just go and I Google, I'll Google stuff from, I'm sure I can find him. And he came up pretty quick, and I go, oh, he is the little guy from Ridiculousness that runs the videos.
Yes.
Yeah. But I didn't know his nickname.
Yeah,
he told
Stilo.
me his nickname, yeah. He was nice. He tips well. That's always
excellent.
something
All right,
to know.
Stilo.
So
I like
he tipped pretty good, so.
Now, another thing I want to talk about real quick, because I just heard about this. I don't know if you've heard about this, and I don't know how long this has been out there in the public eye, but did you hear that the sons of Ghostface, Method Man, You God, and Old Dirty Bastard from the Wu-Tang, they have formed their own group, the Sons. Now, the reason I bring this up...
good, though? I mean, you can...
you can check it out. I listened to the track. It's called 7OD. It's not bad, actually. It's not bad. It samples a lot of classic Wu-Tang shit in it, tracks in it. But the reason I bring this up is because it's so crazy. I don't know if, you were into Wu-Tang when they first came out. Oh, my God, dude. Back in 93 with, when they came out with, Enter the Wu-Tang, the 36 Chambers. Oh my gosh!
No, I didn't really. I mean, some of those names you just said, I didn't even.
Ghostface, Method Man.
I think I've heard Method Man. Yes.
You God.
Method Man was in Wu-Tang.
Yeah. Whoa, ladies and gentlemen, moving on.
I did not know that.
Moving on for sure.
Wasn't right.
Method Man, but they did some tracks together.
Interesting.
All right.
Okay.
So moving on into tonight's episode, the Right Honorable Rogan. I don't know why they called it that, because he was anything but.
I know. I mean, was that the reason that they did?
I guess they were being sarcastic, maybe. I don't know. Initial observations, and I'm gonna get the jump on this one.
What is it?
Nani's red dress.
Nani's red dress.
Nani's red dress in the bar later in the episode. Oh my girl.
I remember the dress, but what are you saying? She looked good?
Girl.
She is a beautiful girl.
That's all I have to say about that.
She does. She looks great.
That was my only observation.
Of course it was.
What do you got? You got any initial joints or like...
Initial observations? Yeah. I don't know. I got
all right, that's always
afterwards.
my thing.
I know. I got a lot of after ones.
All right, another initial observation. If you saw the show, you probably can figure this one out because I said this earlier in the season, and now like I would say Dee and Rogan not making it to the reunion special is a pretty good bet.
I think we already knew that.
Yeah, but now it really...
Just after I say, though, that the couples have gone away, the romances have gone away, they came right back. I was like, I spoke too soon.
Right.
I spoke way too soon.
But, and we'll talk about this a little later, it was kind of all foreshadowing for later in the episode. Dee and Rogan.
Oh, yeah, they always do that.
And then Cam and Leroy, kind of how they were.
I've noticed that they'll do things at the beginning that's going to kind of help out the end of the show.
Now, riddle me this, though. Here's what I want to know. And maybe because sometimes you'll remember stuff that I don't remember. Like, when did Josh and Rogan become friends so tight with, like, Pauly?
I don't think we actually saw it, but it happened on the show, right?
It did. I don't know.
They decided to become his, like, freaking, I don't know.
But now, dude, they're like it seems like that, man. It seems like
they are getting so, like, manipulated, outmaneuvered, whatever you want to call it.
Oh my gosh! Dude, it's.
We're going to talk about all of that. But.
But I gotta, dude. Oh my god, because it started right at the beginning of the episode, dude. I really got in her ass, not literally last week, figuratively. I got in Cara Maria's ass last week about just basically being like an untamed bitch. And she picks it right up at the top of the episode, like the way it just...
I know, when she was saying that she thought the proposal was fake.
Bitch, you're on a reality TV show.
She said they probably got married before the show.
And But
one thing I forgot to say last week and it was not nice, but I follow Tori on Instagram because I love her. And people were actually making fun of her ring for being super small, like giving her shit. Which, we live in this horrible materialistic world. But anyway, she told us at the beginning of the episode it was actually her mother's engagement.
Right. So all you like shit talkers, I know, dude. Like,
it shouldn't matter what size the ring is.
Have some decorum, man. Right, exactly, right? But, and then Nani throws them the little, like, kind of thing.
I know, that's right.
And Cara Maria is the only person in the entire house. Dude,
then has to come into the kitchen to get some food and act like she's reading her book and totally okay with not being. Even Polly was there. Like, Tori's telling Polly, I love you. Like, we're cool. She's like, I think the whole thing is between Cara and Jordan. Like, they're the ones that hate each other.
Like school in the summertime. Bitch, no class. So we also early in the episode saw Zach kind of complaining a little bit about the alliance.
Zach and Josh and everybody else should be because they're making their team weak as hell.
Yeah,
they're getting rid of their strong players.
Yeah,
what is that?
It was interesting to see them kind of, but right now it's really a numbers game.
It's a total numbers game, but it's not a smart one at all.
I know both those cats that we just mentioned having that conversation, they've been kind of whipping boys of mine for the most part all season, but I'm going to give props where props are due. I like that they are at least kind of trying to stay above the fray. They want to play the game, and I appreciate that.
I know, because it has turned into not so much like a competition between physicality and like who's better at the challenges and stuff. It's who has the numbers and
politics.
Oh my god, I just can't wait till we get to like the elimination and stuff. But
we get to then what
before any of that happens. What? I don't know why I was going to forget. I know you're probably going to get to it.
What the
whole Rogan.
Oh my gosh, dude, this is unprecedented. I've never seen I don't recall seeing someone where we're on the show dating, and I'm over here going, yeah, dog, let's put her in. I've seen it when we dated and we then broke up. and we're both back on the show, and I'm like, yeah, put her in every time. But this is, I'm like, wow, dude.
I mean, Rogan basically goes to Joss, Polly, and CT, and is like, look, we got to throw in D. She's our weakest player. I'm not dragging her to a final with me, so we need to throw her in. However, I don't want her to come back on us, so we need you to do it. We're going to throw a challenge. Since when do they need to throw challenges, first of all? Since when do they need to throw challenges? They're going to lose.
Suck butt ass losers. Yeah, dude. They're going to lose. They probably would have lost this one anyway.
Exactly. And we'll throw a challenge for y'all. So then we'll throw in somebody and then y'all put in D so it doesn't look like we did it.
But I will say this. If I'm playing a true game, if I'm playing a game about like, okay, who do I want to go to the final with? It's not a bad strategy to me to start getting rid of some of the chaff.
I agree wholeheartedly. However, why not Kaylee? Why you gotta throw in your girlfriend?
God. Yeah.
Literally, why you gotta throw in your girlfriend?
Yeah, that's a good.
You can't throw in Kaylee?
Good point.
What is wrong? Like, what the hell? Like, the whole thing was weird. Once it got off, though, towards, like, at the end and what went down, I started thinking, was this staged by MTV? It started feeling a little scripted to me. Like, I was like, this just doesn't seem real.
I mean, to me, and then, yeah, these high-stakes cabinet meetings they were having, like, inside, you know, like in a cone of silence, like they're sitting, like, talking quietly, and, like, it was like Salazzo coming down to Jinko olive oil and, like, you know, to have a meeting with Don Corleone. It's like, except with meatheads.
Okay, I don't know any of those people, but what he said.
Anyway, so we get to the daily challenge.
We get to the challenge.
Escape to freedom, and basically it's like
Can I get some props on the song that they were playing before they went in?
What did they? I didn't even catch it this time.
Was it Mamas and Papas? Monday?
Oh my God!
Only
again,
one of my favorite bands. And you know what I wrote down? I said, I know that this music is for us. It's for us old folks who have been loyal to this damn show since it started. And they're like, let's give them some damn music. But Mamas and Papas is one of my favorites. And
they're sticking with the theme of classic rock all season. It's interesting. So yeah, so the game is like an obstacle course that's being towed by a boat. They got to jump from one boat onto the obstacle course, and it's all slick and slickery. It's out in water. What?
Was it slick and slippery?
Well, it was like a lot of it was plasticky, and yeah, they were able to do it pretty well.
They had real good grips.
Except for our girl Tori, like what happened, dude? Like she jumped. She was too enthusiastic. I think when her jump and just like
hard. Yeah, she jumped way too hard and just went right over the thing. But I mean, it was a 120-foot long obstacle course,
and they had to shimmy under and climb over. It wasn't that crazy, but
it actually wasn't that hard.
Yeah, it wasn't. But it, you know. Again, I like because I'm black and anything in water is about 63%. Seems like 63% harder than maybe it actually is. But and they are allowed to have one defender like on each run, and
but I thought that was weird that they only had the chance to defend one person. Like if they
I think if they knock the person off, they get to defend the next person, right?
That would be too hard, I felt like. But
maybe. Well, but, you know, in any case, so they start out, and credit to Cam for, you know, like, kind of putting up a fight, whatever.
Cam had to go against Jenny, too.
Yeah, like beast mode.
And she took Jenny out.
Yeah, she took Jenny out, and then, you know, they kind of...
Tori fell off.
Right, who was the only one who didn't complete it.
Dee and Kaylee actually completed and ring the bell, but they didn't have anybody that they had to defend against.
Right. And, you know, now, so same thing, it was Jenny now defending against Cam, and Cam again got her off.
Yeah, and Jenny, yep.
And then probably the quickest was Ninja. You know, she dove in. Totally. She kind of like, you know, she had like a very like, and this is a real old folks reference. She had a real like Scott Baio in the Battle of the Network Stars type vibe jumping off. And I'm going to talk about that in an after show coming up. Trust.
Oh, Lord.
But yeah, so they, you know, Tori was the only one who jacked up. Ashley got it done. Now,
Ninja, Cara, and Ashley, all three. And that was 3 against 2.
It was funny to me. Ashley is like smiling and having fun the whole time, and it kind of like for some reason like, and then she gives this like fun look at the end. Which, like Ashley literally reminds me of the type of girl that would be totally fun to like mad fun to date. Until she like slashes your tires.
Yeah, until she goes.
It's like, dude, you like loves to fuck, like goes out and will drink harder than you, like, you know, fucking whatever, like snort some cane, whatever you need to do to make the night happen. And then like 3 weeks later, like she saw you talking to someone else at the bar, and literally you get home and you got like 4 slashed tires and shit.
Yeah, she definitely has that crazy side. We haven't seen it that much, honestly, for so long.
But literally mad fun for those like first 2.5, 3 weeks.
I think she was so much fun.
So then we get to the guys. Wow, dude. And this is, again, like, this is crazy.
So the Brooke guys go first. Zach's defending. CT's the first guy.
Which foolish of him. If you know what?
Why would he do that?
Yeah, let Josh or Rogan throw it. It's their idea, dude.
I wrote the exact same thing down. Why did CT take the, fall for it? I didn't get it. Like, why did he take the fall for it? And then when he gets up to Zach, he's like, I'm throwing the challenge. Zach goes, what? They start playing rock, paper, scissors.
Dude, it was the craziest thing.
Stays up there until the time runs out.
The crazy,
TJ's pissed.
TJ's pissed. It's crazy. And we'll get back into it, but before we do, a word from our sponsors. We'll be right back. We're back, and I don't wanna leave this topic behind because, dude, to me, like, really, as a show historian, one of the legends of the show throwing a challenge in this fashion is really kind of like something I'm gonna be going on the like group threads and shit after this. I really want to see what people are talking about this, because I'm going to go back. I want to look up if CT has ever actually thrown a challenge before.
I feel like maybe they have out of strategy, but they did it as a whole. Like, most of the time, I was just like, I wrote down, like, why not make it look a little believable? Like, it just was weird that he just sat down and said, I'm going to do it. This again, where I'm like, this whole thing, was it rigged? Was it staged?
Even CT said, like, later, he's not proud of what he did.
That's true.
And I want to see if this has any effect on his legacy. And I'm not talking shit. I'm being mad serious. Like, now, people like Johnny have thrown challenges before a bunch of times. But to see CT do it, it was pretty crazy.
CT did it too for other people. Where Bananas, it was his idea.
Yeah, true.
And CT's doing it following the lead. He basically picked his sides. He said, I had to do it. I finally had to choose, and he chose Josh, Rogan, Polly.
And I talked a couple episodes ago about how I wasn't really comfortable with the game CT's playing, and this is kind of this kind of
right.
So in any case, the U.S. wins.
Sure do.
They choose Cam as speaker, which was kind of interesting. She chooses Leroy and Nani, which is like a weird kind of volatile mix right off the bat, because it's like two people in the alliance and Nani, who's already going to pieces.
Which is so funny because Nani is losing it. She has had to perform in a challenge. When is the last time she's had to perform in a challenge?
That's right.
Her name doesn't get drawn, and so she just sits there, and yet she's still losing her mind.
Right.
She's in the tribunal. She's not going to elimination, and yet, but I get it. I feel her, actually. On this one, I felt her, and we can talk about that more later, obviously, but...
Well, let's get into it.
Because we go into the nominations.
Right. Well, one thing, one thing I want to talk about before the nominations was, again, because it goes back to something I've been talking about. Leroy talking about how, he was like, yeah, this is my 11th season, dog, and like whatever, talking about how he really wants to win by any means necessary. Woo, dude, that's, because I've been saying it all year, he is trying to ride his way to a victory. He's not trying to go out there and dominate in the challenges. He's trying to be up with the numbers.
But maybe that's what he's been taught all this time. When you got Bananas and Wes and all of them do it, Polly, like they all do the strategy. So maybe that's kind of what he's been taught and thinks it's the only way he can make it. I don't know.
He's not a winner. I'm sorry. Like, I hate to, because even like when they're having the conversation later and they're telling him what he's gonna have to do at the the proving grounds when they vote.
Oh, right.
And he literally says, I'm so scared.
Oh, yeah.
Can you imagine John Bananas or Wes or any saying they're scared? They have to make a tough decision. I mean, dude, I'm sorry, homie. I love Lee. He's a great guy. He's not a winner on the challenge, dude. He's not cut out for this.
He is a nice guy.
The other thing he's a nice guy. The other thing I want to point out, other than the straw of death over here, look at this. Like, we got to get you a custom straw, like a custom, like,
I
chrome.
do. Well, I mean, it's got to be, everybody's going to get on my ass.
Hey, one of our viewers out there is a jeweler or something, like a metal, welder, welding hobbyist on weekends. Make our homegirl
keep killing the earth.
So the other thing I want to point out real quick, and I'm about to get into some real blackitudes up in this piece real quick. Okay, so Leroy and Cam's conversation at the bar, she comes and takes him aside, right? And he's sitting there going, look, stop. And she's just like escalating higher and higher. Okay, it's some of the funniest shit. It's like the most classic shit that any of us coloreds who've been like at a TGI Fridays or like an Olive Garden and been like hearing over our shoulder like a conversation that sounds almost exactly like this. It's like he's going, baby, stop, baby, chill. And she's like, what? Maybe I need to blah, and maybe I need to boo.
I need to go talk to her.
Right. And then so you get up and you go to the bathroom because you got to see what this couple's all about. And you get up and you see the dude and he's like an average dude. He's like Leroy. He's not bad looking. He's whatever. And then you look at the girl and she's fine as hell. And you kind of like, okay, that's why he put up with that shit, man.
Oh, God.
I'm saying, dude, it's like
that. Going with this?
Please. I'm telling you, this is... All the black people watch the show is like, word, I saw that last Friday night at TGI Fridays.
Why the TGI Fridays?
Because a lot of, like, on Friday nights, a lot of black people go to TGI Fridays for the happy hour and shit, or they go to Olive Garden after, like, graduation or, like... what's the other? Red Lobster. Like, they go to Red Lobster as a special occasion joint, man. I'm giving y'all some real blackitudes. If you ain't down with the knowledge, you just ain't down.
I'm learning.
All right, let's get that. So now, it was so funny too when Leroy goes, yeah, that's my homegirl, and I want to see her, like, with me there.
Yeah, he's totally taking up for Nani saying, one of my main goals besides myself is getting her to the final with me. She deserves everything. She's a great girl. She's like my BFF. And it was just shooting Cam down because she was like not wanting to hear that. She's like, I think he puts Nani first. And she keeps telling him that Nani's working against him. I do not see that. What is she talking about that Nani's working against him?
Well, I don't see that in the alliance, maybe. She's not consciously,
but she's not like doing anything to like put him in or like trying to get him thrown into elimination or anything. And who's to say that Cam macking on Leroy and getting all buddy with him isn't her doing the same thing? She could be doing the same thing. And Nani and Leroy have obviously had a really tight friendship for a lot longer than whatever this Cam and Leroy shit is.
Right. Well, I still loved it though when they come back from the bar and they're like having the argument, and it's like Leroy, I swear to God, it was like Leroy is that dude who baby mama came by the house when his new girlfriend was over. And he just want to walk out that motherfucker like, y'all bitches crazy, I'm going for a walk.
Again, I love that Nani walked in there and is like, what are you saying? What do you have to say about me? I mean, like I said, I think Cam is threatened by Nani when it comes to the relationship. It's not necessarily like competition-wise, but when it comes to Leroy, they're tight, they're close, and she wants Leroy to be all hers and whatever. And I don't know, it was funny with CT being the voice of reason. Like telling her, like, go in there, you're trying to compete with Nani and you don't even need to compete with Nani. Go in there and tell him you're sorry. And of course she crawls in the bed with him and Leroy's like.
So then we had the whole drama with Dee like bawling
because we skipped over the nominations.
Well, I always get to the nominations at the proving ground. That's where, like, they actually vote.
No, the nominations where they vote on, where the Brits vote on who they're sending.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
right. So we get to that, and like,
which turned out to be the fastest.
Oh yeah,
one
it was.
that they've
I mean,
ever
but
had.
it was because it was obvious, dude. As soon as like they started talking about like what they were gonna do, it was like, oh, Tori's going in.
It's so dumb. First of all, they don't give the women near as much respect as they give them as the men. Like, for them not to even talk about it, discuss it at all, it was like immediately, let's vote. They have not done that this entire season. They're like, let's vote. Then they vote Tori in, which is so stupid.
It was
She's
obvious.
their strongest girl, though. Why would they not put Kaylee and Dee in against each other?
They're not. It's dude. We keep saying it. It's a numbers game now, and that's what it is. It's a fact of the matter.
But that's also where Leroy told Nani that they needed to all three say the same name, and Nani was like, "I'm not saying the same name as y'all.
Why?
Y'all are gonna do what you want to do, but I don't have to say the name or whatever."
Right.
But I think they're idiots. Like, to put Tori in when maybe she didn't do that great on the obstacle course, but she is one of their strongest girls.
Yeah, but it's clear the battle lines are drawn at this point. So it's like she's not.
They're
she's
playing a weak, dumb game.
Well, so then we get so they decide they're gonna put her in, and then we get to the proving ground, and
then we get to the whole D thing.
Right, the D drama, and she's bawling. They think they're gonna maybe put her in.
Well,
It
CT basically is like what you were talking about when they were telling Leroy that he needed to do this, and he's like, I'm scared. And CT's like, we can't tell Ninja. And Leroy's like, no way, we're not blindsiding the girls. We're not going to do that. So they decide that they're going to go tell the girls. Then, for whatever reason, CT, of course, again, taking the fall, goes to D and tells her what their plan is and what they were planning all along. It was weird. It seemed staged. It was so weird. Then D goes over to Rogan, obviously going off, crying. I can't believe he did this to me. I thought he liked me. I believed him. And the whole time, he's going to throw me in or whatever.
And then we get to the thing, and they throw in Jenny.
Thank you. That's what I was trying to say. They threw in their two strongest effing girls, Tori and Jenny. After all of that, with the D shit, all the drama, they don't throw her in. They don't turn around and say, okay, well, let's at least throw Kaylee in, because she's a weak
Kaylee is a part of the alliance. I keep saying it.
They throw Jenny in. So you got Jenny and Tori, your two strongest. Makes sense for the Americans, obviously. Send their strong people home. Makes no sense for the Brits, and they're playing Polly's game, and it's just the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It's the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
So now, I mentioned last week, though, the Proving Ground Hall Brawl, one of the classic games in the history of the challenge, and I broke it down. It's like...
And then they ended up with two of the most beast girls.
Oh, right. It was perfect. It was perfect as far as I'm concerned. So it's like, I need something over there. You need something that's over here, and we're... each at the top of this long kind of caged in hallway, and we just gotta boom. So we go, but actually before we get into that, let's take hear another word from our sponsors. We'll be right back.
So sorry, guys.
So we're back, and we get right into, again, this is one of the games, like, oh man, I just love this game so much, man. Because it's basically, this is one of the games where they have to put on, like, football pads and a helmet and, like, all this stuff, because it's full contact,
it's supposed to get pretty beastly.
So, Jenny and Tori go in, and I gotta tell you, right off the bat, this spoiler alert, Tori moved to legend status in the challenge history.
She always was with me, but yeah, I mean, she totally goes through the first. Well, the first one was actually pretty good because remember it was only like a 0.2 of a second.
Oh yeah, it was super
they had to
exciting.
Look at the tapes, but Tori just smacked into her so hard.
Dude, Jenny has a lot of size on her.
Dude, I know. She's a big girl. I mean, like, in a good way, but she's a big girl.
Right. And Tori, dude, that was classic. The first one was because it was so close.
Because it was so close. They actually had to go look at the tapes. Even everybody else was like, what are they doing? Are they looking at the tapes?
Who won? No one could tell who won. The second one, that's where that was Banana's backpack, like, worthy type stuff.
Yeah.
She flattened Jenny, dude.
She
like,
totally just went right
boom, and like, dude.
And that put Jenny on her back and on the ground.
It's
and
over.
After that, you knew because she
all
wasn't
over.
going to be able to get up fast enough to. So of course, Tori won.
So Tori wins. Like, again, a classic performance. And
She could have taken out D or Kaylee one of the weaklings.
like,
but
easily.
so
She would have
easy.
destroyed
So
anyone
easy.
else. If she dominated Jenny like that, there's no one else there that she wouldn't have beat
There
in the
it
Hall
is,
Brawl.
putting her in.
But big ups to Jenny, I will say. And let's find her picture.
And she did say, while we're finding her picture, she was like, afterwards in the confessional, she was like, I'm not used to, like, being that BC, like, strong-bowing somebody. So I felt like she kind of probably held back a little bit. She doesn't know
Maybe.
how you can just be like, boom. Like,
You got it. Hey,
do what you
man,
gotta
it's this competition.
do.
All right, so Jenny, and again, big ups to Jenny. She made a fan out of me this season. She came here to play the right way and compete, and she performed extremely well.
It should not have been Jenny and
It
Tori
should not have been Jenny. She's going home far too soon, so hopefully we'll see her back. Let's get into MVP and LVP.
Yes.
My MVP was Tori. Obviously,
Me
if
too.
you couldn't tell by how I've just been saying her godly performance this.
Yeah, she took out Jenny, which, I mean, she didn't want to because she's on her team now. But
Right. Who's your LVP?
Okay, so I got a couple of them.
Oh.
Rogan, first of all, just because I think he's being an idiot,
Yeah.
like following Polly, and then the Brits as a whole getting their team is basically getting weaker and weaker. Not that the Americans weren't doing the same thing, but the Brits are doing it because the Americans are telling them, and it is so annoying. So Rogan for that, and then CT because CT threw the challenge like a dummy,
Wow,
took everything
okay.
on his back. And I just feel like CT knows better than to allow what's going on.
That's a really good call, actually. I was vacillating. You know that one?
No,
Okay.
not at all.
That means I was kind of like going back and forth. Between Rogan and CT, and I settled on Rogan just because it's like, dude, you go after the girl you're sleeping with?
That's I don't even know why I didn't think
Louise,
about that.
man, it's
He
like,
totally wants to go after D and not Kaylee. It's
so
like,
here's my LVP.
You're a jerk.
So final takeaways. I think you have some this week. All right, let's start it off.
First of all, I'm just like, you guys, Brits throw a challenge and yet again lose one of their strongest players. The whole point was they threw it to lose a weak player, but somehow, some way, the Americans ran used those little strings, and they lose one of their best players. So stupid. They're the dumbest group I think I've ever seen playing a challenge. I don't know.
I think you could be right.
I mean, it's true. And then the other thing is just what I was going to say was that CT, to me, is smarter than this. And CT could help the Brits to not be playing this stupid game under Polly like that. I mean, not to say that it's not smart to go with your alliance for a little while, but once you realize they're getting rid of your strong people, I mean, CT's got to feel like an idiot that they lost Jenny. He's got to. He's smarter than that. He's been in this game so long.
Yeah. So my final takeaway is I got a couple. First one is like straight up. We kind of alluded to this earlier in the show. I want MTV to, for the next season, and actually the next season is already being shot, so maybe for the next season, I really want them to come up with a way to get back to performance-based elimination, where literally like the drama and the politics somehow are made to take a backseat, to where like literally the two worst performers in a challenge just go home, and we just follow it along that way.
We might be seeing it next week.
Oh yeah, we'll get into that in a second. Yeah, let's see. Right. But I really want to see a season where we can get back to the people who are physically dominant.
Yeah, I mean,
don't have to align themselves.
We could do that if some of the players weren't just kind of caving into that off the bat. Like if Zach was stepping up and becoming like it just. Where I thought the tribunal was going to be cool, it hasn't been because it's not the best player getting to be Where that's how they used to do it. It was like whoever won was going to be the Speaker of the House. Maybe that's what we're going to go back to help us out.
Right. I think. Well, but I think also again, just kind of eliminating like group votes in a way, like having it be literally
who's
you
the
win,
worst and who's the best.
Yeah. Right. My other takeaway, and you've been talking a lot about this season, and I'm now really starting to kind of pay more attention to it and really kind of like keying on what's happening here, dude. And it's fitting that he has a name like Pauly Fiore. Because homeboy is straight Michael Corleoning this game right now, dude. And yeah, I made that a verb, all right?
Who's Michael Corleone?
Did this chick just ask me who Michael Corleone is? Okay, we're gonna have a talk off the air.
Whoops.
He's the puppet master right now, dude. He is like using everyone in the game like his soldiers. Go out and do this, go out and do that.
I said he was very smart to choose Joss and Rogan because apparently they're so easily.
They're both dumb as bricks.
You can tell.
So he's just like. They're like doo 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 doo.
So true.
So yeah, it's fascinating to watch, but I'm starting to kind of get into it a little bit, and you know, give credit where credit's due.
Yeah,
you know?
have to.
So next week, you kind of alluded to this a couple seconds ago. Well, first of all, we got a swimming challenge, which is always
a puzzle
fun.
and a swimming challenge.
Yeah, and did you notice Pauly kind of making a little comment about Cara Maria not performing well?
Oh, yeah, I totally did. I wrote that down. I was like, why is Cara struggling so hard?
Right.
He said, next time we have a pool, you
take advantage, right?
That's one of my quotes.
And then, you know what? We got it. Okay, that's right. We're starting a new segment before we get out of here.
Let's talk really quick. We're going to do a segment really quick after this.
Okay, all right.
And then, but only because I did want to talk about what you just alluded to.
Yes. TJ, he said something at the in the preview, like
he says, whoever the slowest two swimmers are going home right now.
Yes.
And then you see Leroy and Cam hugging and crying. So I'm like,
now that could be just MTV.
So many things. Like that can mean that they made it and they're just so happy they made it. It could mean Nani went home. It could mean Leroy.
It could mean anything. It could have been. It could be B-roll for all we know.
True.
You know,
it's like have to do with.
But Cam, because I noticed Cam was the only one with that hairband, so I was like, that's definitely
Me too.
Cam. I went back and looked.
I did my whole little research. I went back. Who's got the hat? Who's got a thing around her head? Like,
right.
I figured it out.
So yeah, that should be interesting. So I'm looking forward to that. Make sure, of course, to what?
Let's do my quotes.
Oh yes. The new segment that we're starting now, quotes of the week. That she's gonna be like, heading that up. Yeah,
I always love my quotes
official
from all the little challengers. Like they're funny. They're super funny. One of my favorites, and I know it's awful because I love CT, but when CT threw the challenge and he came off the boat, Jordan was snapping on him and he said, "We've been training and training and training. What have you been doing? You've just been losing weight. You're not training. You're not doing anything." I thought, man, he's telling it like it is. I mean, that's true. That is so true. And then, of course, I wasn't really quite prepared for the but Tori did say, this is one of my favorites. Right before the elimination, when she realized she was going to be going against Jenny, she said, "Damn, I got to go through Arnold Schwarzenegger to win this thing." And I thought that was really funny. But I have better ones and more for you next week.
That's going to be a new segment next week. In the meantime, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. I want to thank our executive producer, Lisa Welch, our producer director, Ben Imperato.
Like, share.
We'll see you right here back next week. She is Krsiti Yard. I've been JD Butter, and we are out of here. Peace.
Bye, y'all.